This is Docs Outside the Box, episode 19.
Welcome to Docs Outside the Box podcast. This is your official show, looking inside the minds of cutting-edge and innovative doctors. Think you'll find these stories in any medical textbook? Sorry. You're getting real life insight from men and women pushing the envelope beyond medicine. Ordinary doctors doing extraordinary things. Let's start now with your host, Dr. Nee Darko.
What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Docs Outside the Box. I'm your host, Dr. Nee Darko, and I'm doing a little bit better today. I know people have been reaching out to me via Facebook and via Twitter in terms of how bad my Knicks are doing. Everybody knows, or if you don't know, I'm a huge New York Knicks fan. Grew up during the glory days of the late 80s and mid 90s where, you know, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, John Starks. Don't forget about the greatest dunk of all time, John Starks on Michael Jordan. You know, that was the heyday for me. And then came the late 90s and, you know, obviously the ineptitude of the 2000s. So it's been very difficult as of late to be a Knicks fan and to see what happened a week ago with Charles Oakley being thrown out of the Madison Square Garden. It's just a sad thing, but people have been reaching out to me with Facebook and, you know, through other mediums, and just, you know, we've been having conversations, and I just want to let everybody know that I'm in a better place. So just a little quick personal thing about me before we get into our show, which I promise is going to be a good one. But one quick thing is I just wanted to thank everyone for continuing to send me feedback through iTunes and sending me 5-star reviews. It really is helpful. It helps the show to grow, helps us move up the rankings within iTunes. So I just want to take a moment to read a 5-star review from Dr. P. It says 2 words, highly recommended. I find this podcast to be extremely useful and inspirational. Several of the guests provide concrete examples of how they attain their goals while not shying away from recommending tangible action items for physicians to implement. The wide array of intimate conversations with media personalities, real estate investors, publishers, and financial advisors are truly encouraging. Dr. Darko, thank you for filling a much needed void. Dr. Pierre from Newark, New Jersey, my hometown. Dr. Pierre, thank you very much for the feedback. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Another one is from Bo Jackson 63044. If you have an MD or DO behind your name, listen to this. Thanks for the 5-star review. It says, fantastic podcast. Dr. Darko's podcast is a must listen for the medical professional. Sure, I may be a little biased, but you don't have to take my word for it. Check it out for yourself. So I'm not sure why Bo Jackson said that they may be a little biased, but either way, hey, look, thank you very much for the 5-star review. It's really much appreciated. So my next guest actually has been on the show before. My next guest is Dr. Drai Birch, or Dr. Drai, as you all know. He was on episode 3. Links to his show will be in the show notes. But back then we talked about how he used his medical degree to get the lifestyle that he wanted. He shared about how he branded himself America's favorite OB-GYN, how he's basically using his medical degree to get the lifestyle that he deserves, and how he's also using that knowledge to coach other physicians on how to attain something similar. We also talked about some of their success stories. And one thing that I really took from that conversation that still resonates with me till this day is where he stated, look, he loves his patients, but also at the same time, just because he loves his patients, does that mean that you need to sacrifice your own lifestyle just for that of your patients? So that was something that we talked about also. So once again, if you want to get the highlights or if you want to get the nitty gritty of that conversation, just go back to episode 3. It'll be located in the show notes, and take a listen to that podcast. That was right now, I think, one of the most downloaded episodes that I have right now for the podcast. People had very strong feelings about it. I got a lot of feedback from it. So I wanted to bring him back on the show because he's actually on April 20th through the 22nd in Atlanta, Georgia. He's hosting a conference called Momentum in Medicine. And it's a conference for medical professionals to learn how to monetize their degrees and to build a brand similar to what he's doing. He's got a bunch of A-listers, a bunch of headliners who will be talking, but some that you already may know about include Dr. Bonnie Mason, who actually was last episode's guest. Remember, she started Beyond the Exam Room, which is a online as well as live modules for teaching physicians all the things that they should have learned in medical school: contract negotiations, practice management, how to negotiate for a better salary, things of that nature. Also, Kevin MD is going to be one of the speakers at this conference, as well as very important people like Lamar Tyler. So I've always wanted to have a sense of continuity with my guests, and what I mean by that, I've always wanted to continue to kind of check in on how they're doing. And I remember talking to Dr. Drai about this back in February in 2016, when this was very much in its infancy stages. Back then, primarily he was coaching other physicians, as well as he had his own concierge medical service. And to see that idea of momentum in medicine in its infancy get to this point where it has flourished to where it's at right now is something that I think you all should see. I think you all should understand that living outside the box can be uncomfortable. It can be a rocky process for many of you all. But with time and building of good habits, look, we're all going to get there. We're going to look back and say, why didn't I do this sooner? So that's the reason why I brought him onto this show. So things that we're going to talk about in this episode are, actually, we're going to talk about his meditation regimen, what he does on a daily basis from a meditation standpoint, and what it does for him and how he's been able to see results from that. Obviously, we're going to talk about Momentum in Medicine, which is the conference that's coming up in April 20th to the 22nd. We also talk about things that you all need to do to look for when you're trying to find a coach. And he gives examples of the things that he looks for when he uses a coach. And I was actually kind of shocked to find out that he actually uses coaches, but he actually has multiple coaches that he has. He also shares how long that relationship should be with a coach. So without further ado, I present Dr. Drai talking about momentum in medicine. So Dr. Drai, welcome back to Docs Outside the Box, man. It's good to have you back.
Oh my God, Darko. It is so great to be here on your podcast. I just love your show. Love your show.
You're my first repeat, should I say, offender? Had to have you back on the show, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man, you're a busy man.
It's great to be back. It's great to be back. Busy, yeah. So anybody who can get me out of my bed from to interview with them, being at South Beach for 2 weeks, I'm like, oh man, my assistant calls. She's like, oh, Darko wants an interview. I'm like, yeah, we can do it, Dr. Darko, anything for him. Anybody who can get me out of my bed instead of on the beach is worthy of an interview.
Yeah, I appreciate it. South Beach in January ain't too bad right now, man.
It was a little rainy yesterday. Today's going to be a better day.
Man, and those rain bouts are only for about 15, 20 minutes, and then they're gone, and then sun is out. And I remember when I was in Miami about almost 4 or 5 years ago, the rain would come for such a short period of time and then leave, and then you do what you need to do.
It's still the same. So I actually wake up every morning. I go meditate on the beach. So I get up around 4 in general, and I meditate at 4:30 just to get clarity in my brain, to set my mindset for the day and task I need to do. And then I go for a run. I generally go to the gym, go for a run. So it's great running on the beach. And then I'm always stopping at a cafe to eat a little breakfast and get me some Cuban coffee, which I love.
So Dr. Drai, let's take a step back, because I want to get you back on that meditating bit. Tell us more about that meditating stuff.
So every morning, what I have to do is clear my mindset, so I can really focus on my task, be very laser focused on my task. Because I run 3 companies. I run Medical Moguls. I'm also CEO of Amari Concierge, which is my practice, and I also run the Dr. Drai empire. So I really have to be laser focused on what I need to do for the day, right? So I have to meditate to actually center me, so I can give staff orders, so we can get in momentum and get our goals accomplished for the rest of the day. So it's interesting running 3 companies. So I meditate. That's the first thing I do. Get up and meditate. Well, the first thing I do is pray. So I pray every morning. So I get up and pray. Then I go meditate. Then I kind of work out, run on the beach, kind of hang out at the gym. Then I'll drink some coffee and then I'll read the paper. I'll always have to know what's going on. I'm old school. I like real papers, like the real papers. Like, I like to read the paper. And then I have all these meetings with my staff. I have all these meetings with my staff, my 3 companies, and I tell them what goals we need to accomplish for the day. So I give them their assignments for that day, and then I coach during the day. I see patients during the day if I needed to see patients, or I do media interviews, podcast interviews, TV interviews during the day as well, like blog, live streaming, all that stuff. And then at 5 o'clock, around 5 o'clock, or like 4:45, I meet back up with my staff to make sure everything is done. I approve it, and then that's it. That's my day.
So you basically are the James Brown of medicine, basically. You're the hardest working man in medicine, man.
That's my day. It's so cool. It doesn't seem perfect because I'm living in my purpose, right? So, like I told the docs before, you like walking your purpose. That is where you can maximize your profit and create that time freedom that you really deserve. So I actually live in freedom. Just being in South Beach for 2 weeks is like, oh, let me just go hang out for 2 weeks on the beach. I can still get my work done because all of my companies are ran from my laptop, right? So all I need is my laptop and I can work in any environment. So that's what I want for you guys.
So, Dre, the reason why I have you on the show right now is, I called you the hardest working man in medicine right now. You have a big conference that's coming up in April. It's called Momentum in Medicine, literally a business conference on medicine, a business conference on maximizing yourself as a physician. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, my God. MIMC 17 is the inaugural conference, the Business of Medicine Conference, right? So it's April the 20th. Through the 22nd, 2017. It's going down in Hotlanta at the Ritz-Carlton downtown and the Commerce Club. And ATL, yes. The Ritz-Carlton, I'm kind of fancy. So Ritz-Carlton, of course, is the host hotel and the Commerce Club. And it's sponsored by Infusionsoft. So Infusionsoft is this really, really cool company that teaches you how to market with email. So how to market with email. So doctors, if you're not out there marketing your products or your services, with emails, you're behind the game, right? So at this conference, you will get more out of this one conference than 1 year of medical school. Being an entrepreneur, being a doctorpreneur, being a medical mogul, getting out there and making mistakes and failing and having imperfect action is invaluable. And that's why I live in profit, I live in abundance, and I live in time freedom.
Where did you come up with this idea for doing a conference? Because look, like you just mentioned before, you have Medical Moguls, which is your academy where you are basically teaching physicians on a one-to-one, almost on a classroom-like basis, how to kind of maximize their medical degrees. You have so many different things going on. Why put together a conference?
So the conference, so this is good. So my coaches were like, really, it was my coaches. So I have 12 coaches. I didn't go off to get an MBA. I have non-traditional education when it comes to business. I decided to hire people who are laser focused on their task, who can teach me marketing, who can teach me sales, who can teach me operations, who can teach me branding, right? So that's why my coaches got onto me and it was like, you have to serve the doctorpreneurs bigger than what you're doing, right? So I have this group called the Doctorpreneurs. Docs, you can be a part of the group. Go to www.thedoctorpreneurs.com and join the Facebook group. So I have this group and we nurture the group. Show notes. Awesome. We'll have this group and we nurture this group and we give in this group. But my coaches were like, Dr. Dre, you're not serving at your maximum capacity with this group. You have to serve them in a huge way. And that's where the MIMC 17 idea came from. We have to have one location where all the doctors can come to learn social media, to learn podcasting, to learn how to set up their practice, to learn mindset strategies, to learn how to publish, to learn how to get sponsorships for their live events, to learn trademarking, to learn how to be in the media, to be a brand ambassador, how to brand themselves to a 7-figure brand, how to market, right? How to blog. So we have to find this one location where all the doctors can come to learn, to maximize their medical degree and leverage their brand from medicine to mogul. So that's where this conference came from.
Who is this conference for? Have you noticed that certain specialties in medicine are kind of gravitating towards you?
So the thing is what's crazy, Dr. Darko, is that a lot of other people besides doctors are trying to register for this conference, right? So we're learning a lot when we're doing these conferences. We probably should make you put your medical degree number or your medical degree or your license number on your registration page. Because a lot of lawyers are trying to register, a lot of engineers are trying to register, a lot of architects are trying to register for this conference.
But that's a good thing, though, right? I mean,
and this is for the docs. This is for us.
okay.
This is for us. So they're not allowed. They're not allowed. You have to be a physician, right? You have to be a physician to get in. So they're not allowed at all, right? So the doctors that we see that are registering are primary care. So, primary care like family medicine, OBGYN, pediatrics. We see a lot of surgeons are registering as well, but mostly primary care docs. And that's because primary care is hurting. They're in pain, right? They're in pain. They're working all these hours, right? They're clocking into a job that does nothing to fulfill their purpose. They want more time freedom. They don't want to miss out on the great things in life, like recitals, weddings, hanging out with their friends, right? Because they're on call. And they're ready to serve humanity in a big way, in a huge way. So those are the types of doctors who are registering to be at the MIMC 17. And we are ready to serve you.
Just want to take a step back with you. If you have a physician who's looking to be a part of this conference, you have a physician who's basically looking to work with you. Is the typical physician someone who is looking to practice and actually kind of do what you're teaching them to do at the same time? Or is this more for people who are just trying to basically leave medicine and just kind of leverage their degree, be on TV, or, do something else completely and just kind of completely supplant what they've done in the past, which is be in medicine?
So it's really about the individual doctor. Some people just want to leave medicine in entirety. And I usually say, you invested like $300,000 of money into this.
Sometimes
Let's
more.
do something in medicine that is not traditional. So for me, I started a concierge practice because I wanted to practice medicine on my own terms, right? So I love being an OBGYN. I love medicine. You just have to change up your model of the way you practice so you can have that freedom, right? So I see a lot of doctors who just say, oh, I want to leave completely. And I'm like, you're really leaving money on the table, right? Because you have all this training, speaking on stages, being in the media. All those things are so easy for us to get because we're doctors. That's what America wants. They want that expert on television. They want that expert to write the book. They want that expert to speak on the stages. So it's so easy for us to get all those things, but we can't drop the doctor, right? We can't do that at first. We have to leverage our medical degree to the maximum. We have to leverage it to the maximum potential.
So, they say in business that if everybody's your customer, then nobody's your customer for the most part, right? You can't be everything to everybody, basically. Are there specific physicians who are not good candidates for this conference, not good candidates to work with you?
So the doctors who should not come will be doctors who are not coachable. Do not come here.
So give me an example. What are some examples? Because I'm sure you.
It's very so. So a lot of times, so for me, I do a lot of calls all day, discovery calls, intake calls with coaching clients who are physicians, and I'll say things like, you should just get on live stream. Let me just see your personality. I want to see what's going on. And they say things like, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay. In my brain, I already know if you do live stream, I can already 2x your income. I already know that.
So you're talking about like meeting with them over Skype or
no live stream, like doing Facebook Live, doing Periscope, getting out there, because that's a marketing and it's free right now. So I'm like, do this. But when they say no, I don't want to do it, I already know that they're not coachable. If I say post this on social media and they don't do it, they don't take action, I already know that they're not coachable. And a lot of times it's mindset, it's their mind. Because doctors, we live in self-sabotage, we live in complaining. We live in excuses. We live in excuses. We live in perfectionism. Because, to be a doctor, we have to be pretty much perfect, because in medicine, they teach us if we're not perfect, we're going to kill somebody, right? Someone's going to die if we're imperfect. So that's a lot in business, it's totally different. It's totally different. It's all about imperfect action. Winners take imperfect action. Losers take the time to create the perfect plan. So in business, you have to jump off the plane, build the parachute on your way down. That's how it's done. You jump. We don't build a parachute in the plane, because then we never jump. Right, and what you don't realize, doctors, is that you're in a plane that's going down. It's going down real fast. And you're just sitting there hanging out while the doctorpreneurs and the medical moguls are jumping.
You've got some pretty big name speakers at this conference. I'm actually pretty shocked. That's amazing. And congratulations for having this. I mean, you have, for example, you have Dr. Kevin MD or Kevin MD from the famous website, famous blog on there. You have Dr. Bonnie Mason from Beyond the Exam Room. You have Jai Stone. You have Lamar Tyler. I mean, multiple multimillionaires on this at your conference. So can you speak more about that?
Oh, yeah. So when I actually, to the speakers that are at the conference, they're actually a lot of the teachers that are inside of my academy. So, I run the Medical Moguls Academy, which is the place where doctors come to learn how to build profitable businesses based off of their purpose. Because I want them to maximize their revenue in half the time. So I don't want them to be out there struggling trying to figure this out. So I have one location where they can learn everything about business from all of my master coaches and all of my master teachers. So a lot of the speakers that are on stage actually teach inside the academy. So doctors that are not part of the academy, you're actually getting a little bit of the academy by coming to the conference, because they're going to teach you the same thing that they're learning inside of the school, right? So Dr. Kevin Foe is not part of the academy, but he's the keynote speaker. He's going to be talking about live streaming. He's actually the keynote for the Medical Moguls Academy graduation. So they will be graduating at the MIMC 17. Dr. Bonnie Mason is going to be there. Dr. Lori Barr, who's going to teach about podcasting. She's the billionaire doctor. She's made over $1 billion in her business, and she's going to tell you how she made her first $1 billion. Dr. Tanya Lowe, who's a famous mindset coach. She actually teaches inside of my school. She'll be there rocking the stage. Ty Davis, who is a bomb publisher. So she's going to teach you how to publish your book. Stacey Ferguson, who also teaches inside of the school. She is a genius at sponsorships. She runs a network called Be Blogalicious, which is a network for bloggers of color. Andrea Hintz Evans is my trademark attorney, and she's actually going to talk about my case for the first time, Dr. Dre versus Dr. Dre, the rapper versus the gynecologist.
Yeah, what's up with that, man?
She's going to open the case for the first time. At MIMC, so you get to hear it from the mouth, right? TJ Mercer is a media star. She's a reality media genius, and she's going to teach you how to get booked in the media. Alice Benjamin, who I love, she was one of my first clients in Medical Moguls. She's actually going to teach you how to be a brand ambassador. She works with big brands, right? She's like the health correspondent for Black Enterprise. She works with Lubriderm, huge brands. So she's going to teach you how does she leverage her brand as a nurse to be a mogul. Jay Stone's going to teach you how to make a 7-figure brand. She's a genius. She actually used to work for Delta, American Express. She is the bomb when it comes to branding. Lamar Tyler, who is the mogul marketer, multimillionaire guy. He's also a genius. He's going to be rocking the stage, teaching you how to do simple marketing campaigns. Nadia Jones, who is one of my close friends, who is a blogger, she's going to teach you how to blog to get paid. So a lot of speakers,
Absolutely.
a lot of them are speakers in the academy. And what I do is I actually prefer them to speak in my academy first to teach, so I can see like how great they are and how great they're going to interact with doctors before I let them have my platform, right? Before they get on the stage. So that's what we did. We screened all the speakers. A lot of them are some coaches that I've had. And then we're like, okay, you're great. We're going to put you on the big stage at MIMC 17.
Now, there's some people who are listening who probably aren't familiar with Medical Moguls Academy, all the different ways that people can work with you, physicians can work with you. Can you take a step back and talk more about the academy, what's entailed in that? How do they get involved in that?
So we have Medical Moguls LLC. We have currently 51 doctors that we coach, 51 doctors. There's several levels that you can come into our circle, right? So the first level is Medical Mogul House Calls, and that is where you will invest and you will spend an hour with me, 1 hour to 2 hours, and we will go over whatever you want us to go over to maximize your brand, maximize your business. And then within that same level, we have something called a VIP day. So I'm in Miami because I have a lot of VIP days scheduled here. So that's where you spend 6 hours with me, and I build out your business from the ground up. So that's like really for advanced people who've been in business before, who have like failed before, who really want to know like what's the secret to success. So that the VIP day is for them. The second level would be Medical Moguls Academy. So the Medical Moguls Academy is where I take you through a process of building a purpose-driven business to maximize your profit and create that time freedom in a 7-month period. So right now we have 21 doctors that are enrolled into the academy at that level. We also have Medical Moguls one-on-one coaching. So that's where you spend 10 months with me, one-on-one. You have my phone number. We talk all the time. And basically, we talk all the time, and we build your business from the ground up as well. Some people just want to work with Dr. Drai by themselves, and then some of them want to work with a team, rather work with a team. And then we have Medical Mogul Mastermind, and that's where you have to make over $1 million. So you have to be a doctor over $1 million in your profit to get into that program.
Man, that's crazy. That's amazing, actually. So I'm really impressed with what you have here, because I remember talking to you, when we first had the podcast, when you were first time on the show, you were working your way to this. So it's amazing that you've been able to come out with this. So congratulations. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who can testify on all the things that you've been able to do with them. So, I really appreciate you explaining that, because there's a lot of people who, are interested in coming to the conference and they want to learn more about working with you. So this is a good way to kind of get them a primer on all the things that you do.
Actually, I probably do about 3 to 4 intake calls every single day from Monday to Friday, right? To see who works best with our company. And, it's really like, I tell the doctor, shop around and find different coaches who can help you with you don't have to necessarily come to Medical Moguls. Shop around for the best person for you. But I know one thing, there's no one that can coach doctors like Dr. Drai. Because why? I am a doctor, right? Absolutely. I know how to create profit based off of your medical degree because I've done it.
Now, what should they be looking for in a coach? Like, what are the key things? I don't know if you can name the top 3 things or the top 5 things that if a physician is looking for a coach, what are the things that they should be looking for?
Number 1, you want to know who they coached with. That's number 1. Okay. You want to make sure that they have had the coaches themselves. So I see this a lot. Like, people start these companies, they do all this stuff, and they're coaches and all this stuff, and they've never been coached themselves, so they don't know the process. They don't know the process. They've never been coached themselves. So that's number 1. Number 2, what's the results? Okay, so you want to ask the results of their clients. It's never about like how great they are, their fun personality. It's about the results. And I tell people, you want to hire a medical mogul, go into the Doctorpreneur group and ask about my results. Ask about the doctors who are making, because I have doctors who make over $1 million. I have doctors who make $50,000 extra a month based off of my strategies and my secrets and my formulas. So I have that. So ask about the results, right? And the third thing is you want to make sure you hire a coach who understands what a doctor is, right? You want to make sure they understand what is medical school. What do you have to go to medical school? What is a residency? What do you have to go to? What is licensure? What is certification? How does that all play into getting you in the media, writing these books? Because there's a secret sauce to that.
Now, how does someone know that they need a coach?
First of all, Dr. Darko, everybody needs a coach.
It's true, right? I mean, athletes have one, right? And I'm talking about like the top athletes, LeBron James, top track stars, they have athletes. Businessmen have athletes, have coaching. It's interesting. Like, we think that we don't need coaching, for what we do. But I mean, I agree with you. Everybody needs a coach.
Everyone, and just look at your life. You probably have a coach for several things, like a health coach. You probably have someone teaching you about meal prepping, clean eating. You have someone that's helping you work out. Those are all coaches. You have someone that's helping you like change your mindset and have positive thinking. Those are all coaches that we have throughout our lives. We just don't give them that label. But yes, if you want to be top in your game, if you want to compete at the top level, you have to have a coach that's laser focused to getting you the results that you deserve.
Now, on average, how long of a relationship should you have with a coach? Are we talking years, months, weeks?
It's just so for me, I am going to be in coaching programs forever because I know that they changed my life, right? Anytime that I'm like, oh, I don't know about this idea, I just call my coach and they're like, dude, pull out your stuff, get it done, get in action and get there. You already know, right? So I need coaches forever. So for me, I hire coaches every month. Not every month. I would say I'm in In December, I actually hired all of my coaches for the year. So I meet with them every month. So that's the biggest investment. In December, when you're like trying to get all your tax stuff done and you need to like put money in certain places, hire coaches. That's something that doctors don't do. Hire your coaches for the year to get to your next.
Okay. I like that. I like that idea, actually. Now, you are having a VIP day for Momentum in Medicine. What is that? What's going on with all that?
So a VIP day is basically like at the conference, it's going to be a VIP day that I do in my regular Medical Moguls LLC. So I usually meet with clients for 6 hours and kind of build their business from the ground up. At the VIP day at Momentum in Medicine conference, we're going to go through speaking. We're going to go through my speaking blueprints. We're going to go through my publishing checklist. We're going to go through some media emails, my pitch emails, and how to get into media. And I'm going to teach you how to be a brand ambassador for your top 10 companies that you choose. So the VIP day is 6 hours with me only. So not any of my master coaches, not any of my speakers. They actually could be coming in and out to say hey to you. But it's really about me and the doctors that are there that have invested at that level, so I can make sure they get to their next. So that's a really good place to be if you are like trying to figure out if Medical Moguls is for you. So you get to interact with me for 6 hours. Your life will be transformed.
Obviously, this is like a smaller group, though, right? So this is like group work.
It's in a group, so we have 25 doctors. You're in a group, in a small group, but everyone would get their laser focus. Everyone would get laser focused coaching. So just like I tell the Medical Moguls Academy members, I coach one, I coach all, right? Because you're going to have the same issues that someone else is going to have. You're going to want to be in the media too. So if I coach one on how to get in the media, you need to be listening and taking notes.
So it's almost like it's like group study, basically.
Yes. It's like group study. You know, like in medical school, how they have like lecture based, then they have like the other problem based. It's kind of like problem based learning.
Right. I got you. Love it. Love it.
So that's great. All your meals are provided for the VIP day, and your meals are provided also for the general admission. So that's cool. It's a conference where we give you your food and you get group coaching. So the general admission, you get group coaching as well, where you get to meet with me during lunch. But it's a bigger group, 50 doctors. So it's different from being in a 25 doctor group.
So, Dr. Drai, we're at the end of the interview. I know you got other time constraints that you got to keep up with. So I just want to ask you just one question, man. Seriously. What are you most grateful for?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You like that,
That's right? A good one. Oh, I am grateful for freedom. I am grateful for the opportunity to get up every day and just to do whatever the hell I want to do. If I don't want to do work, that's fine. If I want to lay out on the beach, that's fine. If I want to talk to my mom all day and gossip with her about family stuff, that's fine. Right? So I'm grateful for just having the opportunity, for God giving me the opportunity to live in my purpose and to like really learn how to maximize profit and live in that freedom that I want for everyone. I want you doctors to have what I have. I
love it. I love the answer. Dr. Drai, thank you so much for your time. I love your energy. It's always infectious. Your episode 3, was one of the most downloaded episodes so far on Docs Outside the Box. So I'm sure this one's going to be a highly downloaded one also. So thank you again for being on the show. We got to do it again, man.
All right, man. And I will see you in June, Darko.
And that's it. Episode 19 is over. It's history. It's officially a wrap. Dr. Drai, you got to love him. One thing I definitely have to say is the greatest thing that I get from him is his level of honesty, as well as his dynamic spirit that's really infectious. And based off of the feedback and the downloads I got on episode 3, he definitely was a fan favorite. As always, I'm looking to always get feedback from you all. So remember, you can always reach me back at Twitter with my name at DocsOTB. Remember, with Twitter, it's at DOCSOTB. Email is nii at docsotb.com. Always on my Facebook page at Docs Outside the Box. That's really one of the best ways to get in touch with me. I always see the messages as well as the notifications via that medium. And then also you can see the pictures that I put up of the various guests on Instagram with the username NiiPDarko. That's NII, P as in Paul, DARKO. Stay tuned for more episodes. and make it easy on yourself. Rather than having to go back to my website to see when I update, when new podcasts are available, why don't you go ahead, make it easy on yourself and subscribe. Subscribe through iTunes, Google Play, as well as Stitcher Radio. The links are in the show notes. And look, I gotta get going. But before I jet, you know what time it is. Remember to live outside the box.